Thank you. Please make yourself comfortable. You are all welcome to church. Touch somebody, say, beloved. You are welcome to church. Celebrate life, somebody. It is a great honor to be in the presence of the Lord, to worship Him, to give Him all our best, because He is our God. Who is that God? God we cannot see, but He sees all. But you cannot say there's nothing like God, because you don't know when you came into life. And the day you will depart, you must not know. He's the only person that knows the day you will die. And you cannot predict anything about yourself. What you know is what you see. But in the other life, you don't know what is happening in the other life. Life like what? In your dream, you cannot predict. You cannot predict what is happening to your soul. But you may see the little, signs about yourself. But you may not understand it if you don't have the knowledge to understand it. Which knowledge? Divine knowledge. How can I acquire divine knowledge? That's why we come in the presence of the Lord. We assemble in the presence of the Lord to seek that divine knowledge. Our Lord Jesus Christ says something. Many are called to study divine knowledge, but a few will understand. I want you to be among the few that will understand the divine knowledge. If you have divine knowledge, you can excel. If you have divine knowledge, you will live as long as heaven has permitted you to live. If you have divine knowledge, you can't take anybody to police. If you have divine knowledge, you can't make trouble with people. If you have divine knowledge, you avoid so many problems. And I said in my own words, avoid problem, that problem will avoid you. Only when you have divine knowledge. Touch somebody, say, we are here for divine knowledge. So when you come into the world today, fight everywhere. People are fighting in this corner, people are fighting in the other corner, and people are trying to get something great in their life. And I ask questions, why people are fighting? And I find that people are fighting for power. In the church, people are fighting. I'm the second person, I'm the third person, I'm the sixth person of this man of God. In politics, the same thing. In community, the same thing. In family, I remember when my elder brother was alive, the day of my father's burial, he was called for tribute. Instead of him to give people what they want, he began to say, you people are all welcome. I'm the first son, the only first son of this man lying down. People are fighting, unnecessary fighting, psychological fighting, spiritual fighting, physical fighting, political fighting. People are fighting everywhere just for power, for people to recognize you. But such fight is the fight of carnal people. Why are we fighting? You want to be the first, you want to be the second. Just like when you come to the bank those days, bank always being, we have queue in banks. And I'm talking about Africa here, especially Nigeria. About 10 years ago, there's nothing like ATM machine. There's nothing like POS. Then you first come, first serve. You see how people are dragging. Just like when it is hold up in the city, a little space, you see everybody is trying to fight every corner. Nobody wants to exercise patience. Nobody wants to cool down. And that has killed a lot of people, because it's carnal fight. To be the number one, to be in that position. And this kind of fight is the fight we are experiencing in Africa here. Everybody wants to be the president, the governor. Now you are the president, you are the governor. What is happening? Carnal fight. Because you have nothing to offer. That's why you are fighting. And something that you are not capable of is what you are fighting for. But if you are capable of that thing, you will never fight for that position. You'll be on your own and that position will locate you. But those that lower their lives are the people that has been chosen to be in power. Because they lay down their life to pick it up and to drop it. But those carnal will pick it up and then never allowed to drop. Even though they are dying, they can never drop it. So what I'm trying to let people know about the spiritual movement in life, being a visionary, you must be like God. According to the Holy Book, He said, I made you in my own image. That's what He said. That's what God said. I made you in my own image. In the image of God was man made. Okay, let me tell you about the spiritual life. I'm taking you to the Holy Book in the book of First King, chapter 3, verse 5, from verse 5. And in Gabor, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, ask what I shall give thee. Ask, I shall give thee. And Solomon said, thou hast showed unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according to as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness and in uprightness and upright of heart with thee, and thou hast kept for him this great kindness. And thou hast kept him this great kindness, and thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant a king instead of David my father. I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor count for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? Let me stop here. And the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. That's verse 10. And the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this. Has asked this thing. Now, a man who had the power or the position, you know, the Bible story was given an opportunity to ask more. You ask a lady, what do you want from me? They say, buy this, buy that, buy this. If you're an intelligent person, you'll be looking at her. You ask somebody who come to serve under your umbrella, what did you want? I want to be like you. Power. Everybody is talking about power. Because of power, appreciation is not in your heart. You see somebody around you that looks good, you never appreciate him, because in your mind, why must he or she be like this? Power. Power has destroyed so many lives. Because you want it, you are desperate of power. Power has made so many people to sold out their soul to demons and evil altars, because you are desperate of that power. Power has made many people to lose their wives and jump to another woman, their husband, and jump to another man, because she is desperate of being on top. At the end of it, you find thyself in a grave, but thy soul face the judgment. Power has made many people to quit from their job because the way the boss is talking to them. You do mistake and your boss is trying to correct you, and you find it that he is insulting you. You need power. You never be humble. This being desperate of being in power has made people to walk carnally. But a spiritual person was given opportunity before God in his dream. As I said, when you see God in dream, do you know that is God? He said, Solomon, ask, it shall be given to you. And he said, I bless you for choosing my father and for choosing me to lead these people. There are too many. I ask you one thing. Give me wisdom, understanding, a fleeted heart, that I may judge before their midst. You know the response of God. If you continue reading, he said, you couldn't ask of lies. You couldn't ask of the lives of your enemy. You couldn't ask more richness. You couldn't ask this. If you are a visionary, your prayers must have statement. And be conscious of the statement of your prayers. You don't go on your knee because somebody insulted you outside, and you come inside the house to pray, and instead of to talk to God the way you're supposed to talk to God, your effort is towards that person. Your mind is towards that person. You are making unnecessary noise. This is carnal prayers. And God said unto him, that's verse 11. He said, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked rich for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thy enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding and knowledge. Thank you. You have not asked anything. You have not asked more rich, more honor, but you ask just knowledge, understanding, wisdom. You are a visionary. I walk with you. Remember, the mother of Solomon was not legally married. But these women that stayed with King David, their mother were legally married. So Solomon was born out of wedlock. So it's not about where you are coming from. It's not about, which means the mother of Solomon, David couldn't pay his bride price because you know the story of Bathsheba. So Bathsheba is the mother of Solomon. So what people see is not what the spiritual see. Including King David. His mother was not married legally, but he was king. They are an outcast in the mind of people, but in the sight of God, this is visionary children. And God is interested in anybody that is a visionary. Are you getting what I'm saying? Hello? It is not about my father, who my father is in the eyes of people. It's about who are you in the eyes of God. The way Solomon walked with his father. Remember, King David has so many sons. The rules against that kingship, why King David was alive. But God has chosen Solomon. And Solomon was interested to do the work because he was a visionary. He was loaded. He was interested in spiritual thing. He never do carnal thing. He never listened to them. Which means the mother of Solomon, there was nothing like traditional wedding. There was nothing like white wedding. There was nothing like sent off. So all these noises you people are making, I have 3 in 1, sent off, traditional wedding, but the spiritual outcome is what God is trying to view in your life. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. It's not about your credential, it's not about your identity, but it's about your spiritual position. Thought somebody say, are you here? When God saw that Solomon was interested in the leadership, he said, I will make you to be the most greatest king in all lifetime. By giving you wisdom, giving you words, and also giving you long life. So the fight, who come first, who come last, God never look at those things. You may be late in the church, but you may be blessed than others. So somebody say, are you hearing this one? You may be late in the church. Sometimes when we come to Cana churches, who is the number 1 vocalist? Who is number 2 vocalist? That is Cana. Are you singing with your heart? Or are you singing to please your friend? He that singing with heart is giving the right sacrifice. Then how can I sing with my whole heart? You know when your heart is connected, and you know when you are disconnected and connected to people. You know the answer? When a woman is interested and stay with you, as a man that is matured, you know that she is with you. When a woman is not with you, you know that she's not with you, but she's here for something. Is somebody hearing me? But carnal life has made you don't know the light and the darkness. But if you're living in spirit, including your own wife, there was one of my teaching that I told you, some people like to force their wife to be on bed, and you'll be saying, are you not my wife? If she's not interested, don't force her. If you do that, you are raping her. In spiritual world, you are damaging your soul. So how long will you wait for her? Good. If you stay with her 1 month, she's not interested with you. 2 months, 7 months, one year, allow her to be. Let her be the mother of your children. As a spiritual person, take care of yourself. Don't force anybody anything. If you live a spiritual life, because while forcing yourself in, you are dividing yourself. As you are dividing yourself, your life is decreasing in spiritual world. If you have multiple number of years, it will decrease and become few years to live. But nobody can understand this. If it then happens somewhere, I say, wow, it is the devil, not the devil. You are the one that destroy your life by yourself. Women, they has nothing upstairs. They live whatever their mind asks them to live. They don't talk about the spiritual implication. Because a woman can climb up on this altar, at the same altar, and she is angry. She fear no evil. She's singing and I another person that she is singing with. But if you take that person that knows about spiritual to know that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide under the shadow of Almighty. They don't know about that. They can lie. Men can lie. Women can lie in spiritual matter. Just because of 1 or 2 things. then the future, nobody thinks about that. I used to tell young pastors that come to me, I said, be conscious of your life. You never hurt any woman. But if you find out a woman coming around you, it's not coming with plain heart, avoid, so that you will serve your spiritual cabal. That this spiritual I'm talking about, you can never achieve your spiritual life by how much you have in account. It has nothing to do with your account number or account details. This is me. Everything I have achieved in life is in me. As I am walking, because I have been on top, thousands after my life, deities after my life. Sometimes a man of God will clamp up here to give a ministration, and you leave that thing you are saying and saying another thing in order to please people or in order to tell people how powerful you are. At the end of it, you end somewhere. So what will make me to go out and come in at any time? So many people, problem is on my head, on my shoulder. So many people, spiritual battle, I fought with them. They complain to me here and far, all over the world, and I seal their spiritual matters. And you think it is an easy thing, then you cannot just throw it out just to please somebody for you to achieve who you are again. The Holy Book said, it was said that he that dwelleth in the secret, it was a secret between God and Samson. Then out of love, according to the direction of God, he opened up to Delilah, and Delilah exposed the power of this Samson. When the Philistines, the enemies, came, Samson stood up the way he used to rise, and he found out that he was nothing. He tried the way he used to do. When he said, people will fall down, and nothing happened. He touched his head. He looked at himself and said, I'm now ordinary man. He surrendered. He gave his life. Till a point his power returned. So there's something that God has donated in your life. Out of dragging this, dragging that, you may lose it. And when you lose it, you are now ordinary person. Breeze can blow you down. Wave can carry you. Anything can happen. Mosquito bite can take you to grave. Cockroach bite can take you to grave. King David said, because I'm loaded, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. You have that master in you. Both men, both women. Are you getting? Both men, both women. The way you position your life. So the time you will use to drag this and drag that with that person, use that time and exercise passion. That this rain that is falling come with heavy wave and wind, it will soon stop. And all these people that are rushing, some of them on the way running, they fell down and they wound themselves. But when you take it easy, slow and steady, you will not get tired, and you must not stop on the way until you reach your home. Separate yourself from physical fights. In the community, in the society, it can never do you any good. Late Locke Dube, in his blessed memory, he said, I never fight a physical fight, but my fight is a spiritual fight. And people say there's nothing like spiritual. You are telling somebody who is carnal, and he will understand you because he's a carnal person. A carnal person never exercises patience. I saw myself here, and I see far, and I know that time is coming when throne of Eliah will reign. Are you getting what I'm saying? Hallelujah. So what am I telling you? To exercise patience. In business, overlook them. In relationship, if he think that he is wise, that he has cornered you and dropped you, overlook him. If she think that she's wise, she has cornered you and dropped you, overlook her. Never you fight a physical fight. Leave it to the nature and leave it to God. All I know, that he that loved last loved the best. That's what I know. When I make a move, when I was coming up as a child, some of my classmates, they were on top. I never complained because I know where I came from. I take it easy. I don't know where I'm heading to, but I know that God is leading me. Where am I heading to? I know I'm heading somewhere, and when that's somewhere, I don't know. All I ask God, more wisdom in my life, more wisdom in my way. I remember some years ago, about 10 years ago, or 12 years or 15 years ago, I used to follow a friend and go out. We are colleagues, and when I go out, they began to speak so many grammars, and I'm trying to look at them. They say, hey, EMEKA, you don't know what we are saying, They are behaving as people that are so smart and so wise. I just look at that countenances or that discussion, they threw some language, When I sit down, I began to study what happened on that table. And I found out that the only thing that happened in that table has nothing to do with spiritual. It's only about talking about physical. How to eye a woman, how a woman had to give you a sign that she's interested, how to drink 2 or 3 bottles and you start speaking in grammar, and how to see and sit in a social places like hotel, motel, fast food, tantalizer, and all the rest of them, beach, and watching cinema. And I trying to look at those things, and I bring out my time and go to market. I go to film market and film shop. I bought so many English movie. I bought so many English movie, like clubbing movie, and I come back to my house. I sit down and watch to see those things they are saying, and I began to grab so many things, and I say, but this is not hard to do. To speak to a woman is not hard. To drink is not hard. To smoke is not hard. To jump from one hotel, as long as you have the money, is not hard. But what I am doing is very hard for them to understand it, and they cannot be like me. But it's very easy for me to disguise myself and live the same life they are living. I get what I'm saying? But this one I'm doing, then listen, there's something called inferior complex. Don't allow that to intimidate your life. Are you getting what I'm saying? Keep on studying. Then after watching so many movies, I see a man turn to a woman, that kind of thing, blah, 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 blah. I said, but this is not hard. And it's not something that somebody will teach you how to do. You go with a woman inside, even though you have not touched a woman, you don't need to learn it. You don't go to school for that. So something that is not hard to learn is something that can destroy you. But anything that is very hard to learn is something that will save your life. Men of God, women of God, to drink beer is not hard. To take wine is not hard. To drink soft drink is not hard. But if somebody is sick, the only thing that will save you is not that champagne, whiskey, and yogurt, or this is drug. When you see